it's Melanie. So just wanted to show you one of my birthday presents this year. It's pretty cool. I don't know if I'll ever be able to play it very well, but it's fun. So my computer is still down for the count. This is what it looks like right now. We have a towel over the screen. As you can see, this part is completely off. Here's the part where it broke. We've glued the black piece back in down there with the little gold screw holes. And we're letting the glue cure completely for 72 hours. So that's how many hours we have left. So hopefully it will work when we get it completely back together. But in the meantime, I was just going to go ahead and do a second Random Acts video. If you guys watched the video, I think it was my very first video, where I answered a bunch of random questions about myself, I mentioned that I lived in Japan, and that's kind of where I wanted to go with the second Random Acts, because I know what it feels like to be a foreigner living in a country that you have decided to kind of make your home. You know, I lived there for four years, and I was Gaijin, or outsider, foreigner, basically, that's their word for it. And there were things that I saw in Japan that if I had let those things take over in my brain, I would not have had as good of an experience. I was refused service of taxi cab. I was not allowed to enter a karaoke bar. I saw the big black vans who were basically preaching over loudspeakers against foreigners. And if I had concentrated on those things, I wouldn't have, like I said, I wouldn't have had the good experience that I did have. So I chose to, you know, be aware of those things, but know that they weren't representative of everyone in Japan. And I know they're not representative of everyone in Japan. So I wanted to tell you two good stories about two people who are complete strangers. I don't even know their names. But they made me feel welcome. And I think they are more of an indicator of the Japanese people as a whole. There's always going to be a few people who try to ruin it for all of us, but we can't let the few outweigh the many. So the first story is, I was on the train and I was going to my very first day of work. We had just gotten through training. We'd done 2 weeks of training, and I was on the train going to my first location. I was teaching English, and the English schools there are not like what you would just go to every day, go to the same school here. It was more of a business, and so I would travel to different schools. And if you also watch that first video, you know that I get very nervous when I don't know where I'm going. And on top of that, I was in a foreign country. I didn't speak and still don't speak very much Japanese. Our schools were all inclusive in English, and there's so much English over there. But I was very, very worried that I was going to get lost and be late for my first day of work. And so I went to the train station early. I got on the train. I was pretty sure I got on the right train going to Katsura, because that was where I was going. And to my surprise, The train comes to its last stop. I'm still on it, and we are not in Katsura. And I just know that I had this pure look of panic on my face. So much so that a very distinguished looking Japanese gentleman in his business suit decided to reach out to me, and he says, in English, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I need to go to Katsura." And he's like, "Katsura?" And I'm like, "Yes, does this train go to Katsura?" And he's like, "This is the last stop." I'm like, "Oh, I need to go to Katsura." I was very, very panicky and nervous at this point. I just know where I needed to go. And he said, "Okay, Katsura, take that train." And he pointed, "Take that train." And I was like, "That train?" And he said, "Yes, take that train." I said, "That train goes to Katsura." And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Thank you." And he said, "Where are you going?" I said, "Oh, I'm going to my first day of work. I'm teaching English." He's like, "Oh, where are you teaching English?" And I said, "Oh, I just started at ECC." And he said, "Oh, I learned English at ECC." So he was very friendly. He didn't have to reach out to me. He didn't have to, put forth the effort to help me out, but he did. And I am so grateful to him for doing that. And the second random act from a stranger, also in Japan, was actually at the airport. And we had been there living in Japan for a while, and I can't remember if we'd gone on vacation or if we'd gone home to visit my parents. But we were coming back into the country, and we were talking to the customs officers, getting our passports and getting through customs and all of that stuff. And they were asking the usual questions, and the customs lady asks, "Why are you in Japan?" And I said, "Oh, I live here. I'm teaching English for ECC." And she just looked at me and got the biggest smile on her face and said, "Welcome home." I can't tell you just how good that made me feel. Welcome home. Because, I wasn't born there, but I had chosen at that point to have my life there. And for her to be so opening and welcoming to a person who wasn't born there was just amazing. And to both of these people, I don't know if you will ever see this video, and I don't know your names, but know that you made me very, very happy, and you helped me out so much, and I will never forget either of you. So let's be kind to people. Let's remember that there are more people out there who are willing to fight for peace and love, or believe in peace and love, than there are people who want to hurt or harm us. They're out there. We should be aware of them. Not saying we shouldn't, but we have to remember they're not the majority. So let's keep spreading peace. Let's keep spreading love. I will get this video up as soon as I can. I have one on the computer, edited, ready to go as soon as it's put back together. Hopefully it still works. The screen was working. There was no problem with the screen. But, just the mechanics, just the physical part needs to be put back together. So, keep spreading peace and love until I see you again. And